We are back on some leg activity with my brother over here. This guy is in pajamas. Came to sleep in the gym. Yeah, but doesn't really matter. It's comfortable. You know, when you're working out, you kind of want to be as comfortable as possible. So if pajamas does it, then well and good. Get after it. That is what matters. Getting after it. And I actually like lunges. Like this is top tier leg exercise. And I've been trying to do more leg exercise because there's no disadvantage in having strong legs. Actually, strong legs equals strong back. Strong back equals strong core equals strong everything. So the body is not really in itself like separate in parts, because sometimes you kind of think of the body in parts. You know, we think as, oh, this and then this and then this. But when you're working the legs, you're not really working the legs alone in itself. Like the core is engaging, the back is engaging. Like there's so many, like the whole body itself is engaging. So that is why I am integrating a lot more functional movements, because it's good to integrate, like to have movements where you are basically moving the whole body other than isometric movements as we're doing. Like isometric movements are good, but I'm kind of getting into the space of more functional stuff, because the body develops as one. Like you cannot develop just a singular part of the body. It is more working as a member. So remember that when you get after it. Like it's nice to introduce a lot more functional stuff. Like even if you're working as a bodybuilder, like like you just cannot do one body part and I neglect the rest, because for a long time I usually did not do lower back exercises. I don't even know why. But lately, since I've been doing lower back exercises, I feel like more of my exercises are improving. And I'm actually getting back on the squat, because squats are not just leg exercises. Squats work a lot. They work your core, they work your back. Sometimes even your shoulder, if you're holding the weight in a weird way. If you're doing like front squats, like definitely some shoulder stuff, because you have to balance it on your shoulder. So that is why I'm also doing more kettlebell stuff, because kettlebell, who even invented the kettlebell? That is a genius. Kettlebell. Anyway, we are actually past halfway of the first month of the new year, and are your resolutions holding up? Are you keeping at it with the resolutions? Because the new year is a very beautiful time, because mentally you kind of have a reset. And new years can work in your favor or against your favor. Like if you have a resolution and you have a plan, then they work in your favor, and you have the action behind it, then new years are just a magical time for you. So ask yourself, have you been on top of it as you said you would, or have you been slacking, my guy? If you have been slacking, it's okay. Like we all slack at some point. Slacking it's normal. But you can't slack for too long, my guy. Because a friend of mine the other day was like, hey, I see you're still after it. You're still posting and whatnot. Actually, posting has been a way for me to kind of be on top of the game. Because once you start posting, then you kind of have the urge to keep posting. Because you don't have to be the guy who who posts and is not consistent. Because once you start posting, you kind of strive for that consistency of like, oh yeah, I want something to post for this other guy. Because like some people, like social media can help you in that way. Social media can help you be accountable, because it is not kind of doing it for yourself anymore. You're kind of doing it for other people. Because I'm not gonna lie, like social media is not really for yourself. You're here showing the world and be like, hey guys, look at me, look at what I am doing. So social media is a really good medium to help you stay on top of the game, to help you be disciplined in that sense. But once you do it for long enough, even without social media, then social media is just the grease for the gears. Like it just makes you move smoothly, you know. And I can't even say how much social media has helped me, like in this like workout and stuff. Because sometimes, honestly, I also like do not feel like it. Sometimes it's like I don't feel like working out. Well, very rarely do I feel like that. But when I do, I'm like, I need something to post. You know, they're gonna know. They're gonna know the boy is slacking. I kind of had a wind of that a few months ago. I was like, I need to get on top of it. But exercising to me is like food, you know. Like you do not need discipline to go get food. Imagine this. Imagine some guy who lives in the woods, some guy over there in the Amazon, like those tribes over there. Like they wake up and they know they have to go out and hunt and look for food. Like you do not need any discipline for that, because if you do not, like you die, like you die and your family dies, and you don't want that. So you do not really need discipline in that sense. So to me, exercising is like that. When I don't exercise, my body just feels like it is sore. My muscles just feel like, oh, what is wrong? I am very restless when I do not work out. And that is the effect of exercising, like for a long time. Because your body gets used to it. Your body gets used to the pump. Your body gets used to the movement. And it becomes normal. It just gets to, like, even, yeah. So you only need discipline to a certain point. Once you hit that threshold of normalcy, of like, yeah, like this is what I do. Like your nervous system knows. It knows, hey, like we need to get a pump. We need to push some weight. And then you feel better. So it becomes easier and easier to exercise. You know. So the internal stimuli is what pushes you. Like you do not need any external stimuli to make you go exercise. So, and there's no downside. Like there is literally no downside in exercising, and most people do not really think like that. Most people think like, I was talking to a friend of mine and they're like, it requires a lot of effort and it's so painful. I'm like, you want that pain. You know, people think you want no pain, you want to be happy, you want to be no resistance. But we actually want that resistance. We actually want some form of pain. Because if you do not have an external form of struggle and resistance in pain, then guess where it's going to come from? It's going to come from the outside, from the inside. It's not going to come from the outside. Because life is not really one-sided. Life is two-faced coin, like two-face, you know. Like there is pain and there is pleasure. And if you're just seeking pleasure from the outside on and on and on again, and you're not seeking any pain, the pain is going to come from the inside, you know. And in the opposite sense, if pain is coming from the outside and you are deliberately putting yourself in like, not like really painful situations where it degrades yourself and makes you feel horrible and like non-constructive pain. I'm talking about constructive pain. Pain that is good. Slight pain that makes you resilient over time. Then the pleasure comes from inside. Like you should switch it. You should stop looking for pleasure from the outside and let the pleasure come from the inside. And let the pain come from the outside. You do not want pain to come from the inside. Because pain from the inside just destroys you. You do not want that mental strife. You should, because in the external, it just changes. Like you cannot really rely on the external world to provide you with a sense of pleasure. Like, yes, there are default things that you want to find pleasure in, but you can't rely on it. I saw this story of a guy who used to take small amounts of snake poison until his body became immune. Like he used to take small amounts of snake poison on and on and on and on again until like his blood is used by doctors and by other people to create antivenom. Like that is the power of small increments of some form of chosen suffering. Like you do not just want, like that guy, if he just did a huge dose of snake poison, he dies. Like if I just come here to the gym and just stack a whole weight, like it will crush me. Like you do not want. Like over time, if like you're not strong, like that's okay. Like you just start small, and next week you just add a little bit, and next week you just add a little bit, and on and on and on again. And then over time, your body becomes resilient, and it becomes stronger, and it become bigger. Like myself, look at that bicep, look at that arm, look at that shoulder. Oh my goodness! Like this did not come over time. Like me myself, I never notice it. Like me, I usually just see myself like the way I am. Like I never see myself as a jacked guy. Like I usually just see, oh, this is regular, because I never see it, because it usually so small. It usually just comes slowly. And let's say I meet someone who we've not seen in a long while. Like maybe some people who watch my YouTube videos and they knew me probably 3 or 4 years ago. Like when you come and watch my video right now, you'll be like, hey, this guy is big, this guy has become jacked, because like over time, like right now I am like 180 pounds, somewhere like there. Like I wasn't that heavy. Like I remember a few years ago I was like 150, and I wanted to build muscle. So like it is by default. By default you become stronger, and it is not just physically, even mentally, because psychology is biology and biology is psychology. It is linked. I think I talked about this one time, whereby you can think about thoughts in a biological manner. Like if something is stressing you mentally, then that means you're not digesting the thoughts properly, or you have an overload. So you have to put yourself in a position where you mentally, because physically here, when you're trying to pull those weights, or you're trying to push that weight, mentally you do not want. Mentally, sometimes you think that, hey, I cannot push this weight, you know. But you have to tell yourself, like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then you find yourself doing it. So you not only grow physically, but you also grow mentally. And again, that is why jiu-jitsu has been a huge thing for me personally. Because jiu-jitsu puts your mind in a situation of fight or flight. And you have to calm down. You have to tell yourself, okay, yes, this guy is on top of me, this guy is crushing me, but it's okay. And with time, you just get comfortable in bad positions. Your mind calms down. And you just find that it gets easier. It gets easier with time. And also, like, reading books. Like, reading books is a form of mental exercise. Reading books and writing. Because sometimes you can't write, but the more you write, the more you write.